15th to order. It is a little after 3:07 p.m. and the meeting is being streamed live on Central Coast YouTube channel, and if anyone has public comments or questions, they can comment on the live stream, and the questions will be relayed to the board members and answered at the end of the meeting. We have a roll call.
Zach Aiken.
Here.
Rick Booth.
Here.
Rita Eckerman.
Here.
Greg Dunn.
Here.
John McCullough.
Here.
Quorum is present.
Okay. Let's have the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, and next on the agenda is the approval of minutes. We have the minutes from the board workshop on October 16th, 2023, and the regular board meeting of October 19th, 2023. Has everyone had a chance to review the minutes? Does anyone have any corrections or additions or clarifications?
Nope. I motion we approve the minutes.
I second it.
It's been moved and seconded to approve both sets of minutes as presented. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Okay, at this time, the board is going to adjourn into executive session pursuant to the following: ORS 192.6602F to consider information or records that are exempt by law from public inspection, and ORS 192.6602H to consult with counsel concerning the legal rights and duties of a public body with regard to current litigation or litigation likely to be filed. Pursuant to ORS 192.6604, representatives of the news media are specifically directed not to report on any of the deliberations during the executive session, except to state the general subject of the session as previously announced. So all of those that are not involved in the executive session, we will let you know And do we have actions, if any, from executive session?
I move that we direct the chief to send out both letters, one to Seal Rock as well as one to Yachats, with a written 30-day notice of the withdrawal of the automatic mutual aid agreement and the terms and conditions that are listed in both documents.
Before, I can't approve that because I agree with John, we were modifying what this document says. 'Cause this says-
We're modifying the
Yeah.
verbiage to refer to the secondary.
Yeah, so
Um,
how does that motion?
That's fine, as modified, or,
Okay.
you know,
Well,
modified to acknowledge the 2022
Right.
agreement for Yahats.
I'll second that motion with the modification of the 2022 automatic agreement is also withdrawn.
Okay. It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I have a question for you.
Sir?
Are you going to put those documents in your packet now? Because they're nowhere to be found right now.
Correct.
You
And
just
they,
approved
we did approve them. They are now public documents. They are now public documents.
They are in the public document packet.
They
No.
are now
They are
public
now.
documents.
That's what I'm
Public
saying.
documents.
Yeah,
Before they were held to the executive session,
I understand that.
they're now public documents.
right.
I don't want to have to argue to get them.
No.
No, I'll get them to you.
Well, Quinn, you would have to argue to get them, just because.
Wendy and Jason or Jamie would be fine.
So did we approve that?
Yes, we did approve it. Okay, so citizen participation and comments. Comments should be limited to 3 minutes and should relate to items on the agenda. If the topic you wish to discuss is not on the agenda, you are invited to put your concern or comment in writing and submit it to the board. The board will then determine whether or not to discuss the topic at this meeting, defer it to a subsequent meeting, or direct it to appropriate staff for further research or action. So are there any public comments?
I have none online either, so.
Staff presentations.
Last month, we responded to 6 fires, 43 EMS calls, 9 vehicle crashes, no water rescues, 18 lift assists, and 4 other assists for a total of 80 calls. And so far this month, we've done 2 fires, 25 EMS calls, 3 vehicle crashes, 8 lift assists, and no public assists for 38 calls so far this month. And I think that's higher because I don't think last night's fire is listed on there yet. So, yeah, so it's, numbers are actually a little higher than that. But total 766 so far this year with 1.5 months still to go, so.
Okay.
Got anything, Eric?
Just quickly, like I've said, this Hokey system, almost got our new system pieces together, so because I know, if I remember right, we're not doing a December meeting, correct?
Correct.
So in January, we'll have all new mics and a whole new system that this will be a lot easier to deal with, so. I've also spent the week, last year we paid quite a bit of money on electric bills, and I'm trying to eliminate that, so we do have a new heating system for upstairs and the PWA living quarters going in, so we get rid of the 3,000 watts of electricity that's burning through, as well as I put digital thermostats on the big bay heaters out in the bays to maintain those at the, ASA requirement of 55 degrees. So, because those, even when I was putting the first one in, when I got the digital thermostat there and I got it turned on, it was saying 66, but both those big heaters were just sitting out there running, because there was no way to regulate what temperature, it was just dialed. So hopefully, and then door gaskets will go around the doors, that kind of thing to keep, so we could start quitting that heating the whole world instead of the truck. So
Okay.
other than that, that's kind of been my go-to projects, is trying to save us money through spending a little bit of money, so. All this stuff should pay for itself by next year via what I remember our bills being last year, so.
Okay.
don't have anything, I'll leave you alone until the first of the year.
Okay, do we have a volunteer report?
We've got some new volunteers. We're kind of waiting on our background check. We've got, when we do come back in January, hopefully we'll have some presentations. I'd like to swear in a few of our new recruits. So they just completed their fire academy, both for Fire 1 and Fire 2. Oh, yeah. And we have a new volunteer back here. Where are you from, Fox?
McKinsey Fire.
McKinsey Fire. He's been pulling shifts over here on a pretty regular basis, so.
He was part of the wildland grant, and decided to stay on as a volunteer.
So he was a big help last night at the fire, so.
Very cool.
it's good to
We
have
like him so far. Well, we like
Yeah, so far. But we're still got, the association's still got a ad running out there for more volunteers. We've got 4 pending applications. We're just waiting for our background people to wake up. I guess they're asleep. So, and then we'll bring them on. I am in the works of, my goal is to hear Engine 74 roll out the door on a call sometime in the next couple of years. As far as I know, it's never happened, but it would be really cool to hear that on the air. And I'm working on a process that we might be able to make that happen. So it should be pretty cool to have a couple of volunteers out in the Five Rivers area that will pull the trucks out and
Cool.
get a call that far out. So
All right.
in December, we're going to do a raffle too, so watch for that.
Well, then start it.
Well, we're going to start it soon, but it's 4 December.
Start it soon, and then it'll be, the drawing will be in December.
It's in lieu of bingo once we put it
Yeah.
aside until February.
And then, banquet stuff is, so we're looking at doing Best Western in Newport this year. Because trying to find a place down here that will allow us to do what we want to do and accommodate what we need to do is proving to be difficult. So we decided to expand that out. So looking at Best Western in Newport, and then I'm just waiting on some numbers from them. But right now, we are penciled in for January 13th,
Okay, which is a,
Saturday, Martin Luther King weekend.
ah,
So put that on your guys' calendars.
Send out for 5.
Yeah.
He's got a college over.
oh, okay.
And if all goes well,
Zach's excused.
it'll be fun.
Zach's excused. Okay, union report. Okay. Finance report.
At the end of October, the district finished the month with $242,764 cash or accrued cash. We didn't have any current levy funds for October, but we did, well, actually, we did, October 31st, we booked $107,399.92, but that money was received this month. So this month to date, $584,427 early this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there should be a big chunk coming in another week or two.
Yeah, that's about a little bit more than that. Prior levy funds still running ahead, 11,499. So we only budgeted 3,500, so that's good. Legal services, 5,992. And not really a lot of spending. Of course, maybe direct. Not that we spend a lot to begin with. Vehicle fuel, $5,304, so that continues to run pretty high. And vehicle repair, $9,012 year to date through, so we've got, what, 4 months into the year, third of the way into the year. And that's really about the only thing noticeable. Rescue boat, 4,103, so we spent quite a bit. That's about all I have to share.
Okay. So do I hear a motion to,
Make a motion to accept the financial report?
and I'll second it. Been moved and seconded to accept the financial report. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Motion to approve the bills,
I'll make a motion to approve the bills.
and I'll second that motion.
And I just want to exempt myself with a conflict of interest for check number 74240, I believe.
Okay,
Other than that, I'm okay with all the others.
okay, so it's been moved and seconded to approve payment of the bills. All those in favor? Aye. And note the, okay. So it, motion carries. Do we have any correspondence?
We do not.
Okay. Old business, we have approval of letter to city council.
So I gave you guys a draft last month at the board meeting. Nobody gave me any corrections or revisions to that letter, so by not receiving anything to change, I took that as it's ready for final approval. If it's ready for final approval, then I will reach out to city council to make sure I'm on the agenda for January's meeting to deliver that letter.
Okay.
So,
So just to make, I'm pretty sure I know this answer. Us approving that letter is not approving what you're asking for.
no.
Because two of us sit on the other side of the table
Right.
waiting. for it
Your
to get
current
there.
hats you're wearing do not allow you to approve that letter in this
Okay.
venue.
So we're approving the fact of it's going to the city council.
Yep,
I'm okay with it.
yeah. So did we need an actual motion for that, or just,
I'd prefer one. You know how I
I'll
am.
let you, because both of us doing it. Or him.
it's been, okay, I'll make a motion to approve, I'll make a motion to approve Jamie submitting the letter to the city council.
John?
John?
I'll second it.
Thank you.
It's been moved and seconded to approve submitting the letter to the city council. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
I know that not everything requires a motion and a vote, but for me, when
Yeah.
it's something that I'm being told to do, it's nice because if somebody comes back, and we've had this in the past.
All right, yeah.
And tries to say Jamie's just doing his own thing.
Yeah.
I actually have minutes, I can go back to him and be like, no, here it is right here.
You
where
guys
it was
told me to
voted
do it.
on.
Yep.
So it's just kind of I don't know, call it a CYA
Yeah.
if you really need something to put it on, right?
Okay, so new business, surplus utility 72.
Yes, so with the arrival of the heavy brush, and it's gonna be stationed out at Station 73, I want to take the equipment off of Brush 73 to equip Heavy Brush 73 and turn Brush 73 into a utility. We will keep the tank and the booster line and the pump as a skid unit. If we need to throw it in the back during wildland season only, we can still convert it back to a Type 6. But for the majority of the year, it'll get used as the utility, and the current utility will go away. The current utility is gonna start having transmission problems and other problems, and it's kind of beat. It's over 100,000 miles on it. The brush truck, Brush 73, is much lower miles. I think it's around 55,000 miles. It's a diesel, and it's a 3/4 ton. So it's much better suited for hauling stuff around, running
actually one
utility. If the crew needs something to run up river and they don't want to take the Brush 72, and they do want to take utility, or Brush 72's gone for whatever reason they want to, it's a good second vehicle that's smaller to get up narrow driveways instead of taking the engine. It also has compartments which allows us to put med bags and stuff on it without having to worry about it taking up passenger space. So,
Okay. So would it go up on
gov deals.
Gov Deals? Okay.
So the Brush 73 will become a utility 72?
72, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Because I know, from when I was reading there, when I looked at that, it looked like you were not gonna have a utility, and I
No,
I
we'll
think
still
we
have
need to
utility.
have mostly all of Academy. That truck was gone every weekend, so I'd
No,
rather.
we will still have utility.
Okay.
I'm gonna set up a place where, for now, it'll be up at SLR, where we can take the skid unit off the back, and it'll just do like a quick bolt into the bed, so that in the few months a year we have a brush, have high risk wildfire, then we can just slide that unit we have already on it, just clip it in basically and go. Otherwise it'll just kind of hang out at our SLR garage, so.
So we need a motion?
Yeah, because you're declaring it surplus. This one's not a CYA for me. It's actually got to be a.
Right, yeah, I know.
It's actually got to be declared by the board. So I'm not allowed to just sell stuff at my whim.
I motion that we declare the 2008 Dodge Ram pickup as surplus.
I second it.
Been moved and seconded to declare the 2008 Dodge Ram pickup as surplus. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion carries. Okay, $15,000 reserve funds request for floating docks.
Yeah, so what I'm trying to do is, I'm working with the Moose Lodge, and Rick's probably very familiar.
Very familiar.
They are doing fundraising to provide us $15,000 for the floating dock because they too want the boat down at the port. I'm not willing to put the boat in the water unless it's on the floating dock because I don't want not just barnacle buildup, but anything else that could get into that boat to get into it from the water system. So it's already cost us $4,000 this year to fix it and try to prevent any buildup if it should be in the water for a long period of time. What I want to do is first and foremost, I want to go and talk again with the Moose, and I want them to be aware that should I use $15,000 in my reserve funds, their fundraising is going to get the $15,000 back into my reserve funds, and that they're not going to not do it because now the floating dock's there. Because the $15,000 in reserve funds is, like Brett said in his email, needs to stay there. However, the longer we wait, the more the price on that floating dock is going to go up too. And the longer we wait, the longer the boat's going to stay out of readiness for operations on the water for the time being. If later down the road we decide not to have the boat, all we have to do is change out the centerpiece on the floating dock, and it can hold actually 2 skis later on down the road. So for me, to get the boat in place where it needs to be on the water, ready for deployment, without risking paying a higher price because the materials keep going up, I wanted to get the initial approval that after meeting with the Moose and having this discussion, and really this could wait till January if we needed to, so I could go have the conversation with them, but have the conversation with them that if I spend $15,000 out of our reserve fund to get the boat down there now, they're going to continue their efforts to get the $15,000 back to us soon.
Right.
So, just so you know, sorry to interrupt, Chief, but the grant money that we got to help cover the floating dock has a time limit on it.
That too. I almost forgot about that.
And I think it's the end of January is that time limit. I'd have to double check.
Yeah, the $25,000 we got from Ford Family.
We have to spend it, or we have to give it back.
Yeah.
So, and I understand Brett's concern, too. So we could, when is the Moose Lodge beginning their fundraising? I mean,
Well,
they have.
The way the Moose Lodge was working on the fundraising is they agreed to $15,000 for the Lucas, and then that got granted. So we've had 2 meetings on this. They're full into it. They have not started fundraising because they don't have a parameter to start fundraising with. But the board has said it's a priority for our community.
So what do they need?
Chief to come visit.
Okay,
And the reason he hasn't come visit because he's been working on what he wants.
right.
When Charlie and Will came for the Lucas, we sat and listened and got all that and got sold. So I told Chief to make sure he had his Class A's when he showed up.
So you're talking about January, but is this something that you have to wait until January to do?
No, we can wait till January meeting to make this decision,
Right,
and that will give me time to go to the Moose and talk to them.
okay,
However, if we wait beyond January, we
Right,
will
yeah,
have to
then-
send back the
yeah.
25 to.
okay,
I don't know that if I got the 15 later and then said, hey, can I have the 25 back, that would give it. I
yeah.
don't know. That's totally up to them. It's not my control. So,
So basically, what you're looking for is permission from the board now to go to the Moose to ask them for the 15,000.
no, because I can do that without
Okay.
the permission. What I'm looking for, what I'm saying is either decide tonight or table it to January's meeting
Yeah.
on whether or not you want me to use $15,000 of reserve funds to get the floating dock, with the understanding that the Moose Lodge is committing to do a fundraiser and provide the 15,000
Right.
back to us once they get the 15,000 in hand.
Well, and given the fact that, we're hoping that the Moose Lodge says yes, but we don't know that yet, I would move to table this to January.
I would, because again, it's still on the table at the Moose.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
they're waiting to talk to Chief.
Yeah.
So I get time to go talk to the Moose.
Yep.
I'll probably try to come to the next meeting, honestly, would be the best
Not-
time. And then, as long as we've got their commitment from them, if you feel comfortable with that, then in January you can do a
Right.
motion. And
Yep.
that should be enough time for us to place the order so that we can tell Ford Family, the order's been placed, it's spent, don't take the money away.
Right.
You know?
Okay,
So, we're gonna spend 15 or lose 25,
yeah.
so.
Is there a time limit on when the product of those funds have to be in use? Is there anything like that in paper or in writing?
I think that if we contacted them and said we bought it, now we're just waiting on delivery, then they'd be okay with that, I hope. But I don't want to speak on their behalf.
They're very flexible.
Yeah.
It's more of making sure that we've spent the money, so we can show.
Committed to it.
invoice that-
And once we order it, we're gonna need to
Yeah.
spend the money.
And I think that if, worst case scenario, they did take it back, I think if we got the 15 6 months later and then said, hey, we got the 15, they'd probably give us back the 25. You know, they seem to be very willing to help with the stuff, so,
In worst case, they might be willing to maybe do an extension for us
yeah,
or something, but.
yeah, that too. But this is where we're currently at.
Yep,
And this is why I put that on there, was we need to have the conversation about it, because I agree with Brett, we can't be losing our reserve funds, but at the same time, we're gonna lose a grant, and we do have a means to refill the reserve funds, we all just need to be on the same page with that.
Right.
So,
yep, okay.
you know.
Chief's report.
So I did an update on the grant list that I typically keep on here. So some new ones that are on here are the Spire grant for a personal watercraft on a trailer. That's with Oregon Emergency Management. We've talked about this, but I've added the Gary Sinise Fund for the Emily Water Rescue Drone that John applied for, and the Leary Grant Fund for the larger capacity floating pump that John also applied for, and then the ODFW grant for the UTV for wildland interface. And this next quarter, I'd like to go out for a grant through STCCF to start to get some basic confined space equipment. I've been approached by Public Works as well as Pest Control about confined space training for them. We are liable for confined space rescue. Every jurisdiction in this county is liable for confined space rescue. There was a program up in North Lincoln. I just got an email that says they're selling that rescue off with all the equipment, so that equipment may leave the county. I did ask Chief Dahlman if he and his board would consider transferring the equipment from government agency to us to keep the capability in county. He's on vacation until the 27th, so I haven't heard anything back from him yet. But I'd like to put in for a grant for confined space equipment to at least get a little bit of that ball rolling so that we can work with Public Works, we can work with local agencies to do confined space if we ever had to.
Is there a regional team, like,
No,
there isn't?
no.
Okay.
The closest confined space to us is Salem, maybe Corvallis, and then TBFNR, I know for sure, because a long time ago, used to train with them, so. And Hillsborough does too, I trained with them too, so. But the rope team has considered it before, but they don't have the equipment, and I've trained some of the people on the rope team more so because they were doing it for the paper mill in Toledo.
If this was something that the district was to take on, would we be expected to respond to neighboring districts with that capability?
It's a possibility. I mean, that's with anything we do.
Is there a chance that it could be a county-wide team to absorb some of the financial costs on that?
It's possible. If they could add it to the rope team, it's possible. I know that yesterday there was a pretty nasty car accident on Otter Rock, and the rope team responded, and I believe only 3 people showed up. And so it's still going to take agencies' participation to do it. You know, I've set this stuff up. I've written curriculum for the Air Force on confined space, so I'm very capable of building a program and then being able to apply the program. If other jurisdictions ask us for help, I think no matter what we do, we're going to probably give them the help under the county mutual aid agreement anyway.
Sure.
So, you know, we've taken the Rescue 72 to some of the academy classes, and people are starting to realize that, hey, when we have a really big fire, they could bring that truck over here and we could fill all our bottles on scene and not have to try to figure out a way to shuffle our bottles back and forth.
Right.
There's an option now that we could get called out to Toledo, not because they need us for a fire response, but more for air to fill bottles. So now they know that we have that capability.
Just to explain my questioning, I was thinking that if this is something that could be spread amongst and have a countywide team, we could potentially lodge the equipment here, but not necessarily be liable for all the
Yep.
funding.
Same as rope stuff,
Yeah.
yeah. Yep. I know the rope team has talked about it, but it's never come to fruition. The only other people that were qualified to do it was North Lincoln, and I don't know where that stands today. So.
Okay. President's report, I really don't have anything. We have a second citizen participation. Have we had any noise?
Sorry, I was zoning out. Negative. We have nothing.
Is there anything for good of the order?
So we had kind of a mini conversation about it. I don't know, and we might have to go back through the minutes, but there was a committee formed for people to go talk to other boards. 2 people from the board was selected to go talk to the other boards. We moved our meeting time, and tonight is a opportunity to be able to go sit at another board meeting that's happening tonight and just be available to answer any questions that might come up. I don't know who it is, but whoever it is, I would like to see them or somebody in their stead go to that meeting tonight if possible and be there to answer any questions that might come up or correct anything that might be stated that isn't necessarily true.
I know I'm one of them, I just don't remember the other person.
Yeah.
Are you available to do
Oh,
that
yep,
tonight?
I'll go there tonight.
I think the other person's me.
Was it you?
I think so.
So.
I'll be available for questions. I don't necessarily can attend in uniform, but I can be around for
Okay.
questions.
Because if you're working, you could send someone in your stead.
Right.
Like if Rick
Is that-
wanted to go.
Is that gonna
or something.
require an amendment to,
No, he's just there in your stead
okay, that's fine.
for that one time, not for every time.
Rick, are you available to go?
No.
I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I can go.
I mean, if Zach can be there, Greg can answer the questions. I just don't want Greg to be there and be the only one there.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
And Zach, you're on duty tonight, right?
Yeah, and that won't be the case for much longer. I'll be taking Thursdays off, so.
Okay. Okay. Well, I can go to the meeting tonight.
okay.
Um,
I appreciate it because I think that there's some opportunities for clarification if somebody's there.
Yeah.
And if somebody's not there, then it's not gonna happen. So,
Okay. Well, if there's nothing else to come before the board.
I have one, just,
Oh, okay.
I'm thinking that the next Moose meeting is the 6th, only because the next one could be the day before Thanksgiving, and I don't think there is one, because I haven't been told of any. So it'll be the 6th of December. And I'll make sure that they know you're coming.
Okay.
Okay, if there's nothing else to come before the board, meeting is adjourned.
Yeah. Are you gonna chew my butt too?